Welcome everybody, Jack here from Ginger Bets, and this week I'm previewing the first PGA Tour event of the 2022-23 season, and it's kick-started by the Fortinet Championship taking place at Silverado Resort and Spa. Who's going to lift that trophy come Sunday evening? Well, stay tuned, because in the next 5 minutes I'm going to break down the course, I'm going to look at the key skill sets required, and I'm going to bring you those best all-important outright selections. Let's get straight to it. We don't want to keep you waiting much here this week, so I'm going to dial into this course and bring you some key insights. So the course itself this week is a par 72, one of the shortest par 72s on the whole of the PGA Tour circuit. It's in fact ranked 5th in terms of the shortest for par 72 courses. Tree-lined fairways this week. It's going to be tough off the tee for the players. Some of the narrowest fairways to hit on the whole of the PGA Tour. They rank in the 5 narrowest in terms of the width for the players that they take on in the 2022 and 23 season, should I say. So look for players, and we'll come on to it, that are really good off the tee box. The greens are undulating this week, and most importantly, they're a mix of bent grass and poana. So when doing your research, if making your own selections, pay attention to those players that perform well on the poana putting surfaces. So let's get into those key skill sets. We've crunched the data. We've looked at all the numbers going back for the last 4, 5, 6 years, and I'm going to bring you a quick summary in the next minute or two. So the 5 key skill sets that I want to look at this week, it will start with strokes gained, tee to green performance. That's going to be the foundation of all my research. I then want to look at the key proximity area of 75 yards to 125 yards. And the reason being, around 35% of shots are going to come from that key distance this week, significantly more than a standard PGA Tour event. So I want players on side who are absolutely dialed in with wedge in hand. I then want to look at strokes gained around the green and strokes gained scrambling. Even though this is a resort course, gaining strokes around the green and scrambling has been paramount importance if you're wanting to lift that trophy on Sunday evening. So I've looked for players that have got an underrated short game and have been misjudged by the market. And last but certainly not least, we want to look at strokes gained putting, and we want to pay attention to those players that have got historic performance on mixed grain putting surfaces, and especially those with the poana grain in it, because this week we're on the poana and bent grass putting surfaces, and they're not to all the players' likings. So to recap, it's strokes gained tee to green, it's proximity to the hole from 75 to 100 yards, it's strokes gained around the green and scrambling, and last but certainly not least, it's that all-important flat stick strokes gained putting on the mixed grass putting surfaces. That's the course, they're the key skill sets. Let's get into those all-important outright selections. Well, those of you that have tuned in earlier in the week may have got access to my free video, which is the best outright pick of the week, and I will not keep you waiting. It's Sahith Theegala at 28 to 1. BetMGM's the place to go and get those odds. He's got an outstanding chance this week. He gains strokes off the tee consistently. He's got an underrated iron game, and he's got a really underrated short game. He's in the top 20% for strokes gained around the green and scrambling over the last 50 rounds on the PGA Tour. If his flat stick flies this week, then he's bound to go close to lifting this trophy come Sunday evening. Second selection, we're going to go to the top of the board. I cannot leave him out of this portfolio this week. Max Homa, 14 to 1 with BetMGM, plus 1400 with BetMGM. That's the place to go and get these odds. He's the winner here last year. He's in the form of his life. He's an elite level driver of the ball who gains strokes off the tee consistently over his competitors. He's got a really good wedge game, especially from 100 yards in. He's a real good touch and feel player. If the flat stick works this week, he's bound to challenge the top of the leaderboard, and he just cannot be left out of the portfolio. Third selection of the week, he's a man from down under. He's won for us at a big price previously on this podcast, but I believe that this week he's got an outstanding chance. He hits it miles off the tee, and when we look at previous winners like Brandon Steele, and we've got Martin Laird in there, these are players that absolutely bomb it off the tee. Excuse me. He's no different, and at 28 to 1 with BetMGM, Cam Davis will be my third selection of the week. elite level off the tee, really good iron game, underrated wedge game. He sits in the top 20 players on the PGA Tour over the last 24 rounds from 125 yards and in, and that's going to be of key importance this week. He will be the third selection of the week. And last, but certainly not least, this is a player that I believe is going to get a win in the early part of the 2022-23 season. He's got 2 top 10 finishes in his last 6 starts, which shows his game is there and thereabouts. He's got a real good wedge game, and that's going to set him up really well this week. The one doubt about him is his putting. His flat stick hasn't been the best over the past 6 to 8 rounds on tour. Should I say 6 to the last 8 events on tour. But I'm willing to forgive him that. And at 55 to 1 with BetMGM, Chris Kirk will be the 4th and final selection for the portfolio. If you're taking your golf betting more seriously in 2022, may I encourage you, head over to sportspub.com and check out the full Ginger Bets Golf Betting Insights weekly package. There's so much more information than I can bring you in this short video. And not only can you get access to the best outright picks, each week I cover the best outsiders to consider and top 20 markets, 3-ball action and the weekend 2-ball action, all courtesy of sportspub.com. So go and check it out straight after this video. Good luck with all your selections and bye from me.